in the line.
Get over here!
Only the strong survive.
What the fuck?
Finish him! Finish him!
You know, every year people talk about Christmas surprises. Maybe a movie drop, a new trailer, something we expect. But Thanksgiving? Nobody predicts anything major on Thanksgiving. It's just not the holiday studio's pick to shake the internet. Yet this year, out of absolutely nowhere, Mortal Kombat producer Todd Garner walked into the timeline like it was nothing and changed the entire energy of the fandom in a single post. No countdown, no teaser, no studio-approved rollout, just a casual Happy Thanksgiving message on X, followed by a brand new behind-the-scenes image from the Mortal Kombat 2 set. And that one photo, it detonated across social media instantly. Because this wasn't some blurry leak. It wasn't a half-hidden silhouette. It wasn't look closely, maybe you'll see something material. We finally received our first official, full, clean, in-costume look at Quan Chi in live action. And of course, fans went into full meltdown mode. Today we're breaking down everything this reveal tells us, everything it hints at, and honestly, all the questions it raises, because this single photo might be one of the most important updates the sequel has dropped so far. The moment the image hit X, people froze. Not only because Quan Chi looked incredible, but because the location itself sparked immediate debate. Some swore the environment resembled Shao Kahn's throne room. Others argued it was a Netherrealm ritual chamber. A few said it looked like a fusion of different inspirations. But focusing on the visual details, the cold stone architecture, the torches and lanterns, the dark ceremonial atmosphere, everything leans towards something tied directly to Quan Chi's domain. Almost like a live-action interpretation of the fortress-style locations we've seen in MK4, MKX, and Mortal Kombat mythologies. It has that heavy, ancient, corruption-filled vibe that follows Quan Chi everywhere he goes. But right when fans were processing that, something else in the photo caused even bigger shock. Standing not too far off Quan Chi is Kano. Yes, that Kano. The Kano who died in the first movie. And suddenly, the entire fandom hit pause. How is Kano back? Why is he with Quan Chi? What does this mean for the story? This reveal didn't just show off Quan Chi, it instantly cracked open a dozen story theories that had been simmering quietly for months. As soon as fans saw Kano in the shot, debates exploded across Reddit, X, and MK forums. But despite the noise, most speculation falls into four major explanations. The first, Quan Chi resurrected Kano. This is the most straightforward theory. Quan Chi's entire legacy revolves around manipulation, necromancy, and bending the dead to his will. Bringing Kano back would be extremely on brand. And let's be honest, Kano would absolutely make a deal for a second chance if it meant power, revenge, or money. The second theory is Kano never truly died. This one's possible, but harder to sell. His death in movie 1 looked conclusive, so the writers would need a clever explanation or a retcon. Not impossible, but it raises more questions than answers. The third idea is actually one fans jumped on immediately. It isn't Kano at all. It's Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung has shape-shifting abilities. He's been suspiciously quiet during MK2 marketing, and disguising himself as Kano fits his trickster nature. This theory lines up surprisingly well with Outworld's political chaos and the way these movies tend to unfold. The fourth theory is probably the most Kano option of them all. He struck a deal with Quan Chi. Selling out, switching sides, playing both ends. This is his personality. An earlier promo material showed Kano standing with Earthrealm fighters, which always felt strange. Kano has never been the heroic type, so his presence there didn't add up. But now, with this BTS image, things finally start to make sense. If Kano's connected to Quan Chi, either willingly or as a puppet, it explains the inconsistencies we've seen all year. Now, let's talk about Quan Chi himself, because that's where the majority of the excitement is coming from. Damon Harriman's transformation into the Necromancer looks fantastic. The makeup team genuinely went all in.
The pale gray skin is exactly the tone fans wanted, the red markings on his arms and chest look carved or branded, not simply painted, and his costume uses layered, dark, ritualistic fabrics with skeletal accents, giving him that ancient sorcery aura MK is known for. Nothing looks cheap, nothing looks goofy, nothing looks cosplay level. It feels authentic, modernized, but extremely faithful to the games. For fans who prefer the MKX or Deadly Alliance version of Quan Chi, this hits the aesthetic perfectly. If you love the sharper, bolder MK4 version, this design still holds the same intimidation factor without going overly exaggerated. The fan reaction online was overwhelmingly positive, with comments calling it the perfect blend of accuracy and modernization, exactly how Quan Chi should look, and light years better than the Annihilation attempt. And really, that last part wasn't a hard bar to cross, but it's still worth acknowledging. So far, Quan Chi might be the strongest looking character in MK2's entire roster. One of the oddest parts of MK2's marketing up until now was the absence of both Quan Chi and Shang Tsung. No posters, no concept art, no teasers, no official images. For characters this important, that silence felt intentional. And honestly, it likely was. Studios usually hide major characters when they're tied to big story turns, appear in game-changing third-act sequences, or build toward future films. And there's something else to remember. We've already seen the amulet teased in earlier promo materials. The same amulet Sonya was holding in that early photo. The same amulet tied directly to Quan Chi in multiple MK storylines. Quan Chi, plus the amulet, plus resurrection magic, plus Shang Tsung's involvement is textbook Deadly Alliance setup. Maybe not fully for MK2, but definitely pointing toward the direction MK3 could take. This BTS reveal may only be the first layer in a larger long-term plan. From the production details shared in the official update, Todd Garner posted the image on November 27th, lining perfectly with the Thanksgiving holiday. Damon Harriman and Josh Lawson are both in complete, fully rendered costumes, not early drafts or test versions. The environment resembles an Outworld throne room, possibly tied to Shao Kahn or heavily inspired by his architectural themes. Filming remains on schedule for May 8, 2026, which was moved a week earlier from its original date. No delays, no reshoots, nothing alarming behind the scenes. Director Simon McQuoid has said he wants the sequel to go bigger, darker, and more ambitious. And you can absolutely feel that intention in this single reveal. Everything looks cinematic and deliberate. Nothing feels rushed or placeholder. Still, it's one image. A movie can look great in stills but miss the mark in motion. Or the opposite. But for now, the initial impression is strong. Quan Chi's involvement has triggered several major story theories, and fans are already connecting the dots. One of the biggest expectations is that he resurrects Bi-Han to set up Noob Saibot. Another popular prediction is that he manipulates Kano for Outworld's agenda, which this photo practically supports. Others believe Quan Chi will end up influencing Scorpion's storyline, especially with the Shirai Ryu connection. There's also debate about whether this throne room environment hints at early political scenes in Outworld. And of course, the ongoing belief that MK2 is planting seeds for Deadly Alliance continues to gain traction. Even with all this speculation, Kano remains the hardest piece to figure out. Does he serve Quan Chi willingly? Is he being controlled? Is he a resurrected puppet? Is he pretending to help Earthrealm while working an angle? With Kano, literally anything is possible. He has been loyal to no one in any version of Mortal Kombat, not even himself. That unpredictability is exactly why his return is so interesting. And honestly, this update couldn't have come at a better time for the fandom. The community has been through a lot this year. MK1 backlash, DLC controversies, launch issues, mixed designs, and a lot of heated discussion. But this reveal feels different. It feels like the MK2 team is saying, "We hear you. We're taking this seriously. We're honoring the world, the lore, and the characters." The tone looks darker. The costumes feel more accurate. The world building seems deeper, and most importantly, the characters look right. A single Thanksgiving post shouldn't have this much impact, but it does, and it's exactly the momentum the fan base needed. For something that dropped with zero warning, this update hit incredibly hard. Quan Chi looks phenomenal, Kano's presence drops a massive story question right in front of us, the set design feels perfectly aligned with the Mortal Kombat universe, production appears smooth, focused, and on schedule. And for the first time in a while, fans have something genuinely exciting to theorize about again. If this is the quality we're seeing from just one behind-the-scenes shot, Imagine what Quan Chi will look like in a full scene with lighting, effects, and performance. MK2 might be more ambitious than anyone expected. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the Kano we saw is the real Kano, or is it Shang Tsung taking advantage of the moment? Do you think Quan Chi will be the key to the film's biggest twists? And which character reveal do you want the studio to drop next? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe to Movie Sentry for more Mortal Kombat 2 movie updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.